Where we were, not anymore though. Alright, thank you. Alright, bye-bye. We have 2007 BMW X5. Customer purchase on Android radio. Carplay Android Auto. Comes with a T harnesses like that. And this is the monitor. It's a touchscreen Carplay Android Auto Mirrorcast, so you can watch YouTube, Netflix, and also support backup cam. Okay, first step I'm gonna do is to remove the air vent and disconnect the harnesses. Alright, so once you remove the air vent, there are 2 screws holding on to the monitor, 2 screws holding on to the radio bezel. Those are Phillips screws. Remove that. This thing pops out. Alright, so remove that. Remove this back. Focus on the radio. Well, it's not going to work out. See the plug, the LVDS plug? This is a rectangular. This is not. So customer has to get the right one. So this particular BMW we are working on is a CCC, and I'll put it online, the difference between CIC, CCC. There are 4 or 5 different plugs. So once you take the monitor out, look for where the LVDS, which is a video cable, some are round, some are rectangular like this, some are round with the 2 more plugs on the side. There are different models of it, so be sure to get the right one. Now this LVDS, you're gonna run it from here up to where the monitor is at, and the T harness, which is this one here, some may have fiber optic. If you do, you're gonna have to transfer fiber optic to this T harness. This particular one doesn't have that. So if you look at this plug here, it's made for many different BMW models. So they do give you these holes right here. So just in case you have a fiber optic, you have to take the fiber optic cable out of the original one, put it to the new one, and stick this back in. This particular one doesn't have that option, so we don't have to worry about fiber optic. So next step is to put this one back into the factory radio. That one has a fiber optic? Yeah. Okay, so it does have fiber optic, so we're going to take that. I forgot that it does have fiber optic. So you're going to take that fiber optic cable out. I told him this doesn't have it, you didn't say nothing. Alright, so fiber optic cable, it goes in one way, but be sure to put it to the outside ones, not the inner side ones. So this is the fiber optic cable. Then the other side you plug back into the factory harness. Alright, so we put this back in here, and this is the factory fiber optic cable in here. Be sure not to kink or cut this green plug, green wire, because that's a fiberglass. It's not a copper wire, so be careful. Alright, so we're gonna shoot this cable up to where the monitor is gonna be at. So we are shooting that white plug in between the bottom dash to the air vent. There's a little gap there, and you're gonna shoot the wire through the middle section of it. This unit also supports the front and the rear cam input. That's what these yellow plug RCA plugs are. Just gonna temporarily plug everything onto the new monitor. So two things happen. So this comes on when we turn the radio off, the power off. BMW. Okay. It doesn't give me anything. We update all firmware. The other one is so I got another one because the original one customer purchased. Two things happened. One, it did not have a car information. Two, when we turn the car off like this, and open the door, close the door. It has a proximity sensor, so if I lock it or walk away, see, it shuts off. The other monitor didn't even do that. It stayed on, killed the battery. And also, it did not have no control of the audio, no audio. Radio wasn't coming on. And also, when we got this part is the same. Once the radio was on, the monitor is on, and let it boot. And if I hit the original car information center here, it did not give me this. It gave me just a blank. Not only it didn't have a radio on and off function, but also had no car information when I hit the original information right here. Now, so this one obviously does work. This one also, when I hit the power off, and hit the lock button, or if you walk away, monitor shuts off. So this is the correct one. I'm gonna put the link on description below. So everything works. Only thing it did not work when we first put it in. This one we also made a reverse working. So I'm gonna show you once it's boot up. So if I put the reverse, so reverse cam works as well. The backup sensor, everything seems to be working. Only thing it did not work when we first got it, this original car information here, the resolution was set, so it takes a little time to go back to normal mode. Right. Eventually it'll go to regular mode. Yes, I guess. Start the car maybe. Okay. So this part was all scrambled. I'm going to show you how you can change the resolution for the correct resolution setting so you can get this. Alright, so if you don't get the car resolution like this, okay, so once you touch the screen, it goes back to main screen. This is what we had. That was the wrong resolution. So to change it, you got to do this. Touch the screen, get back out to the original home screen here, hit setup, go to car settings right here, and go to original car screen resolution. As you can see, it's set for 400 times 240, which is the wrong resolution. So you click that, and it should be 640 240, I believe. So I'm gonna hit that, then return, Now hit the original. Voila. So resolution set is correct. So if you have a scrambled screen, that's how you change the resolution to get the factory settings. Once you have done that, then you can go back to this. So you can do either CarPlay, Android Auto, whichever one you have. Connect the Bluetooth so you can get the CarPlay or Android Auto working.
It's not Android Auto.
So this is Android Auto. Auto is Android Auto. We have a Samsung phone connected, so you can do this. So everything is working along with audio. Okay. So as you can hear, before we had no audio, no control, no factory information. Radio did not turn off even with the key off. Now everything works the way it's supposed to. Let's see, go back. Tested, everything works. So only thing we got to do is we are using big pry bar because there's a tight gap between this plastic, I don't know if you can see it, to the below the air vent. So you got to run that LVDS cable up to the top, and also that power Molex plug, the white one, that's kind of tight. So let's see if I can grab this. So we're gonna have to use a pry bar to make some space there. It's still tight. It's gonna bend it down. All right. I wish they made it thinner. Still stuck somewhere. Okay, that should be enough. All right, and you can run this. And another thing, we're gonna have to do 3.5 mil. This is the audio cable, which goes under the armrest where the audio jack input is. This cable was a little short, so I put in a little extension on it so it reaches. The cable they give you is only about 3 feet long. You need about 5 feet. So I put female to male adapter. Then the other end plugs into under the armrest. That's the audio. So that goes into the 3.5 mil male and female. That's the audio output. So I'm going to explain to you one more feature. Few people ask me, when you guys play music or listening to something, a lot of times they said, I hear howling sound or echo sound. I'm going to show you how you can get rid of it. So we're just going to temporarily put this in. So if you get this trouble, wait, we gotta put the audio jack in here. So we're just gonna temporarily, I'm just gonna show you what I'm talking about. A few people ask me like, oh, I do get distorted sound, howling sound. If you get that, there is a loop. It says CIC. Now this particular unit is a CCC. I'm gonna put picture on the description, on the video, how you can find out what system you have. So if you have this CIC connected, I don't know whether you can hear the noise. So you hear like a brrrr, and sometimes it's a howling sound. That's because this loop is connected as a CIC. You don't have a CIC system. That's why it's making that rumbling sound sometimes, distorted sound, or crackling sound from the speakers. So all you have to do is disconnect this, because that's only for CIC. So if you do not have a CIC, unplug them. Then noise goes away. No more noise. So that's how you fix it. just gonna have to use a sharp knife. There's a little gap there, and just pry this out. Now you can snake the wire through this hole here. Alright, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna remove this felt down here that comes out, and you pull this side panel like this. Now it's gonna have some space between the bottom of the dash, center dash, and you can run the wire through that. Here's the snake. Let's see if I can grab that. It was easier to run snake from this way rather than coming up from the side. So once you have that, you can take this 3.5mm jack. So it'll tape up really nice so you can snake into the center dash and up. That's good. Yes. Again, I use the snake through this way, out to the side. So take that up, take it good so you don't lose it. That's the way it came out. Just stick it back in. Works. I'm doing the wrong way. Alright, so let's double check. So each step we are doing, we want to double check, make sure everything still works, because I don't want to take the whole thing out again. So everything still works. Photo. Volume. It works.
Sunday in Union, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 77 and a low of 62.
Alright, so everything is working. You do not want to keep taking panels in and out, in and out. Wait, did we put screws back in on the bottom? There's something that's hitting.
No.
Okay. This thing broke off. Huh? All right.